Time is not going to heal like most people believe. Waiting for time to heal is like handing away your inner power. You are signaling to the universe that you are not using your God-given power, which is the catalyst for the awakening of your soul and the healing. And that's exactly what this painful season is trying to show you. In this video, I'm going to share with you raw, honest, painful journey as a mother, as a woman who has walked this painful path myself, with identity collapse, emotional crisis, financial instability, motherhood struggles, how I transformed the pain into divine evolution, where heartbreak turned the very thing that set my soul free. If you are a spiritually inclined mom who is ready to heal and grow the spiritual way, hit the subscribe button so you get the videos every time I publish on healing spiritually, so we can walk this journey together. Not long ago, I personally went through a deep heartbreak, emotional trauma, deep pain, in sudden separation into lasting peace, eternal confidence, and divine joy. And that happened just in few months when I started healing and doing the spiritual work, not just emotionally, but spiritually as well. Today, I live joyfully and peacefully because that's my soul's true nature. Hi, my name is Ashima, and I have been married for 18 years, which I thought is a thriving marriage. But here it goes. Year 6 into the marriage, I was visiting my parents overseas with my baby, and my husband brought a girl over at my house for a week. And when I returned, he told me all about it. He also told me that he is into BD_M, and he has some sexual desires and fantasies that he liked to do, but with my knowledge. Boy, it hurt me very badly. You can see it crushed my heart. I cried for months and months. It was not settling with me. And then he shared he do not want to do it behind my back. He is telling me all this so that I don't feel that I am cheated. But in a way it was, right? And then he also brought up the concept of swinging that he would like to have with my permission because we are a couple and he do not want to do anything behind my back. But it took me 6 years to accept this and to understand and to forgive him for the hurt he caused, the cheating I felt. Once I accepted, I told myself that he's not doing it behind my back. He's asking his partner to be involved in, so nothing wrong with that as long as I'm supporting my partner, and I have been a devoted wife. I was a giver at heart and I deeply loved him. So from that place, I accepted that he is asking for my agreement into this. Then, little bit into it, it did not settle with my soul. So I said, I cannot do this anymore. I don't want to be involved into all the things that you are bringing to me because they are not mine and it's not settling with my soul. So he said, okay, but then I would like to continue the BD_M, and I'm a giver, so I'm going to accept just because I gave him a big benefit of doubt that he's not doing it behind my back. 3 months into it, then he came home and he said, oops, now I love this girl. I had no choice but to accept it again. Didn't thought that he would bring third person into our life. I did everything from a place of deep love for him and heart of a giver. 3 years into his dating with this woman, one day we were having an argument, and it was my birthday. It was my 44th birthday. We were having an argument and he slapped me and pushed me away. And then he called 911 on himself. Of course, he got arrested because I had the marks on my body. And when they were arresting him, taking him away, I started getting very nervous. I told the officer that, please release him. I love him. I want him back. He's a nice guy. And the officer says, this statement of yours will help him greatly with his case. And I said, yes, I do not want to press any charges. Please relieve him. He's up. Then next day, I was interviewed by the officers multiple times, asking my statement and seeing if I wanted to press charges against the domestic violence. And I was saying the same thing. I love him very much. I want him back. He's a nice person. So that day, late night, he came back home. I did not know. I was sleeping upstairs in my bedroom. He slept downstairs. The entire week he slept downstairs. He did not talk to me. And that Saturday morning, I was getting ready in my bedroom. He came upstairs and he started packing his suitcase. I had no clue. And I asked him, why are you packing? Where are you going? What's your plan? Then he drops the bomb that he do not want to live with me anymore. And bam, within an hour, he packed his suitcase and he left. So you can see how devastatingly it hurt me. It traumatized me. I felt betrayed. I felt cheated. Because I gave him so much, I accepted of him so much, and this is how it had to end. This is how he had to respect my feelings, my genuine deep love for him. So I was devastatedly hurt very badly. I was traumatized, and then I self-healed spiritually within 4 months, and I rebuilt my life from soul up. In this video, you will understand why being divine is your soul calling, is what your soul is trying to align you. It's not just a belief, it's what your soul is trying to come in alignment with, that your soul has always been seeking. Step 1, identity collapse. When he left, suddenly, my life shattered. Everything crumbled. It felt like as if the mountain is breaking into pieces. Because it's the life I was building with this man, with this person whom I loved deeply, 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 deeply. Honestly, I had built my life around him, around his choices, around his values, that I did not know that subconsciously they were not aligned with my soul. But I was accepting everything of him from the place that I love him very much. I am going to support him as his wife, as his best friend, as his lover, as his everything. I absorbed all of him from a place of deep love, deep affection, deep support. I thought I was being loyal and supportive, and unconsciously not realizing I was crushing my soul deep inside me. Unconsciously, yes. And many of us do that. It wasn't my fault. However, it was my responsibility. See, when we start walking on a spiritual path, then we become very aware, very awakened to our own inner values, to our own calling, what our soul is asking for. So it's such a blessing. And I'm so blessed and so thankful that I walk this path, I embody this path, I live this path, and I act from this place of being one with divine, living from a place of my soul, not living from place what happens externally or what happens to the people externally, right? The truth is, God used this heartbreak to wake me up. That separation was divine mercy, disguised in pain. But I'll take it all day because it's helping me grow and evolve. It gave me a space to look within who I am as a soul. Let that sink in. See, our soul knows before our mind is ready to accept or understand. But that soul nudge that we get from within, that we all know. We all know, and our soul is so intelligent, it knows where our path is, where to align, what to bring to our reality so we can live in eternal peace, joy, happiness. But our mind and our body is not ready. And that's the realization I want you to have. And I'm sure you are nodding, saying that I can feel that, I can agree to this. See, the universe removes what's not aligned with our soul, because that lowers our vibration, and in that low vibration, our soul cannot evolve. So what's not meant for you, universe removes it, even though it feels painful, even though it does not make sense in the moment. Trust the universe, trust the creator, because it's always, always, always working for you, for your higher good. Does that sound like you? Tell me in the comments below so I can hold a space for you. Step 2, emotional crisis. I believed attachment means love. Society teaches us that love meaning to merge completely with that person. But at that time, what we do not realize, that we are creating knots. Yes, knots for ourselves. We are pulling ourselves down instead of rising up in love. And I'll tell you how. If he was joyful, I was joyful. If he is in pain, I am in pain. Don't we all do that? That if he is suffering, or our child is suffering, or our parent or best friend or whoever, right? That if they are in pain, we immediately go, oh, I feel so bad for you. I'm so sorry you are in pain. And then we also lower our vibrations with that. How are we going to lift someone up when we are dropping ourselves down by just listening that somebody is in pain? That's not love, my friends. That's emotional entanglement. And what that does is that brings you down. Instead, in the moment, what we need to do, we need to stay here. And if somebody is in pain, they have fallen down, we can remain here and we can pull them up and bring them here to our level. But instead, what we do, we go down with them. And we think that that's emotional maturity, that's emotional intelligence, that's love. No, it's not, my friends. Think this for a second. One day I realized I am mirroring his pain, his thinking, his ideologies, which were actually lowering my vibrations and pulling me down. How is that helping me? Not at all. But subconsciously, I do not realize. And when I realize, when I have the spiritual wisdom, the spiritual knowledge, that not only learning through books, but applying those principles in your day-to-day living. I like to use this analogy. Imagine twins are born physically attached together. In that situation, one wants to rest, the other wants to run. Can they physically do that? Is that even possible? No. What does that do? It's binding them, limiting them, and that does not feel freedom at all. That feels attachment, that feels painful. How can one run while other one wants to sleep? Same thing we do unconsciously with our emotional attachments. That's exactly what unhealthy attachment does emotionally. True spiritual love is freedom, because freedom is divine. Freedom is oneness. Freedom is wholeness. God cannot lift you to a higher vibration if you keep pulling yourself down to the lower vibrations. When you choose to detach with compassion, you rise. Detachment does not mean it's not love. People get this meaning totally wrong. People think detachment means, oh, not connected, not involved, not loving. No, there is a whole another level of living from a place of being divine. And that's the concepts I am teaching you, so you can apply that to your own self. And in that rising, you invite divine healing. Are you tying your happiness to what he did? Because I did that. So I understand and I know most of us do. We are tying our happiness because we loved them. Tell me in the comments below, because that realization will become an opening for your awareness, and so that the healing can begin. Tell me in the comments if you're tying your happiness with him. Step 3, motherhood. It's hard being a mom when your soul is breaking. Your soul is crushing. Your soul is in pain. How do you show up to your kids? It's very difficult. And in that moment, we don't feel like we are grown up. We become small. We are in pain. I understand that completely. There were days I would cry in the bathroom and then come out smiling to my kids. But that fake smiles, that fake strength did not help me. It was exhausting me. But the day I realized I could choose how I show up, I have a choice to show up in strength. I have a choice to show up in the higher evolved version of myself. And when I realized I could do that, then everything started changing for the good. My life started changing. The atmosphere in the house started becoming brighter and happier. My children didn't needed a broken version of me. And I'm sure you all feel that too. You are even feeling guilty that you are coming out as broken. But understand this, my friends, your soul needs an evolved version of you, so that will reflect in your outer world, and then your children can feel that. They needed a transformed mother, a transformed you. How does that sound? How does that feel? The one that reflected power, faith, peace, calm, joyful. Your vibrations teaches your kids more than your words could ever teach them. Children absorb your vibrations. When you live from peace, they absorb calmness. When you live from heartbreak, they absorb pain. I'm not saying you're trying to do this purposely, but just understand your feelings, your energy vibrates, it radiates, and people around us can feel that. And who are those immediate people that we are surrounded with? Most likely our children, and then maybe parents if we are with parents, or friends. But it's your children who are the first one to absorb how you are feeling as a mom, and that affects their energy. This is cycle breaking mothering. If you're ready to heal at a soul level, I have a free sacred blueprint called Transmuting Grief into an Awakening into a Golden Light. It is free to download. The link is in the description box below. You will know why to heal from a soul level and how to heal from a soul level, so you can understand those basic concepts. And I also have a bonus guided meditation for you. Go ahead and download it so you can use and understand why your healing must begin at a soul level. Step 4, financial challenges or financial insecurities. Now let's talk about money, because the fear most of us carry by remaining silent. I have been a stay-home mom for 14 years, and we moved 9 times for his career, including 3 cross-country moves. And when he left suddenly, I had no financial base, no lawyer, no backup plan, and I was fearing what most of us do at this stage, right? I did not work for 14 years just to support the career for my husband and to take care of our children and raise them at home, give them the motherly love. But financially, I did not have any base, right? I did not have that foundation that if something happens, I can stand back up on my own feet. That was taken away in an instant because he left suddenly, blindsiding me. So you can imagine the amount of fear, the pressure, the stress. The fear was suffocating. But instead of spiraling in that fear, I stood up and I say, I'm going to use the spiritual laws because I know spiritual laws frees us. Many have risen using the spiritual principles in their lives. So I'm no different, and I can rise from this pain and fear too. My soul declared that I am supported by divine. I was affirming this. And as much I was affirming this, it started to become my reality. And universe has nothing but to match that reality, match that frequency. And that started unfolding in my life, that I am divinely supported. You got to believe this, my friends. I cannot create that faith in you, but I'm telling you from my own experience how strongly the faith works. Because you're totally absorbed in the divine. You absolutely know that whatever is happening for your greater good, even though in the moment it feels painful, it feels devastating. But your gut knows when you have that kind of faith, when that kind of knowing, because it comes from within. And slowly that evidence began matching my reality, and my pain became my purpose. I began helping other spiritually inclined professional moms heal using spiritual laws. The way I healed, the way it helped me, I started doing that, healing other spiritually inclined moms through the same teachings that saved me. Through spiritual healing, I realized what we seek is always seeking us. When we live with that intention to give, to heal, to support, universe conspires to that frequency. Universe gives in a bigger ways that you cannot even imagine how that blessing comes to you. Faith in the unseen provide in ways the material world can never. I'm creating a sacred community of spiritually inclined, heartbroken moms to heal spiritually. If that resonates with you, get my free guide, Sacred Blueprint of Transmuting Grief into Awakening. The link is in the description box below. Step 5, spiritual education. Let's be real. The capitalist and materialistic world that we live in isn't built to heal us at the soul level. And you recognize that. Therapy, podcast, medications, they don't heal us. They provide a band-aid to relieve our symptoms in the moment. Why? Because they are never designed to heal you at the root. They benefit from the healthcare system that is only designed to pump money into their pockets, and the emotional and mental health of people is declining and have become an epidemic in our country and around the globe. What helps healing at the root is the ancient wisdom, is the spiritual wisdom that lives for eternity, that heals for eternity. Why? Because you're working at your subconscious level. You are imprinting things on your soul which will last you for lifetimes. Not just this one, but many lifetimes to come. So when you embody that kind of wisdom and live from that place, it's only going to uplift you, help you evolve and grow. I'm just so passionate about the subject. I see the benefits. I see The peace and happiness I derive is priceless, is invaluable to me. Because that's who we are. Our soul is just asking us to come back to that within, come back to that center. I have spoken to dozens of heartbroken moms who are going through separation, divorce, who are spiritually hungry but guided clinically. How can that ever heal you? That spiritual hunger is driving them to get that spiritual knowledge, spiritual healing, spiritual wisdom. You can't medicate an awakening. You have to journey inward. Unfortunately, the physical, the materialistic world that we live in benefits from us when our souls are asleep. But your soul is ready to awaken. That's why you found this message and stuck to this point in the video, because it's resonating with you. It's making sense to you. Your spirit is ready to awaken. Spiritual education is not about any religion. It's about being one with the divine, being one with the Creator, being one with the ultimate truth, being one with that inner energy, the spiritual energy we all carry. That's what spiritual education, spiritual wisdom is about. And your soul recognizes that. Union with your divine, with your Creator, with that inner truth. If this video spoke to your heart, go download a free guide, How to Transmute Grief into Golden Light, that will teach you some soul principles that helped me change my life for the good. It will help you understand why healing at the soul level is crucial than what's available, what's been popular in this materialistic capitalist world. The link is in the description box below. And if you feel called to go deeply to heal at a soul level, the link to talk to me is in the description box below. We will see where your soul is wanting to go. If it resonates, we will map out the soul plan, have a great conversation at a soul level. You will find the link below as well. Remember, if this video helped you, watch my next video here, From Devastating Heartbreak to Inner Peace, My Spiritual Healing During Separation. Remember, your pain isn't a punishment, it's a sacred invitation. You are not breaking down, you're breaking open. You're becoming divine. I'll talk to you in the next video. Thanks for watching.